Hello fans of the Utah Jasmine. Today I bring to you some sad news, which was implied by the video yesterday, which is that, effective almost immediately, I will be retiring as head coach of the Utah Jasmine and the Global Battle Association. So, certainly you guys, as fans, are owed some explanations. The explanation isn't that complex, but I'll certainly provide as many details as I think I really need to here, and I'm going to try to keep this to about 15 minutes and not ramble too much, but it's me, so it's probably going to be closer to 20 minutes. Yeah, so to get right into it, simple reason to sum it up in one word is time. So going into this season, I knew I was going to have an actual, legitimate full-time job for the first time in really long time, since the start of the GBA anyway. I thought, this might cause some problems, but I think I can probably get through it. Should be all right. And it kind of was and kind of wasn't. So for the first 3 weeks, here we have 3 weeks uploaded. I was definitely getting by, but the problem was I was just barely getting by. Legitimately, the GBA was eating up at least 3/4 of my time outside of work, and it felt more like 95% because there are other things that I was doing, eating and occasionally playing some light other games. But even when I was doing those other things, it was constantly weighing on my mind. It's like, man, I should really be prepping or reading or getting my sets together, etc., etc. On top of that, I pretty much annihilated all of my weekend. My job is nice enough to have every other Friday off, but even then, Friday just kind of turned into oh crap, I gotta read like everything today. So that is kind of also killed off going to my local PCG league, which over the summer I probably need to step up more with, helping the people out there. So there's that, much less if I actually were to go to, tournaments and whatnot, because often I'm either finishing up breeding on Saturday or we're playing on Saturday, so something like that. And also looking long term, oh man, if I ever had some sort of LP or some other, even small channel project that I was wanted to have going on during the GBA, that would have just been a nope, can't do it. One of which we'll talk about in a moment. But yeah, on top of that, even my time at work, I feel like was kind of starting to get affected. I'm sure no matter what, I'll occasionally be let me think about pokes for for a few minutes here at work, as a mental distraction. That's fine. But it is kind of starting to affect that. Thankfully, work is slow right now, but when it picks up, that's just not going to be a great thing to have going on. So what it is not about, though, and I want to specifically call this out, is it is not about my record, the people in the league, or the format of the league. My record is not the best, but we're doing all right for ourselves. We're certainly not. We don't have a losing record anyway, so that's that. It's not like we're getting absolutely destroyed, and it's like, well, this isn't fun anymore. I want to quit. So it's not about that. Likewise, it's not about any people in the league. I like pretty much everyone in the league. Obviously, I'm more acquainted with some of them, known some of them longer than others, so I'm better acquainted with some. But there's no one in the league I dislike. Certainly, no one I don't want to play or anything like that. And the format, I was honestly very skeptical of going back to open draft type format, but the team I was able to get was actually pretty okay, and the teams were not super as crazy overpowered and imbalanced as I thought they might be. So the format actually ended up to be okay. I was definitely on it going in. I kind of had some designs to maybe I'll just try to draft the premier rain team again, and just have a yuck this season and actually go at it for real in season 8. But turns out this format's actually not that bad, so I've been pleasantly surprised by it. But unfortunately, none of that really supersedes that. It's kind of killing everything else. Much less if I were to try to have a social life, which I don't plan to. But if I ever did, yeah, it would kind of get killed off as well. So that brings the question, Hooper, this was your season. The memes and the jokes must continue. So why are you retiring now? Well, I looked at the schedule, and I thought, you know what? The one person I really want to play, if I was gonna pick a game to go out with, is gonna be against John. So it just sort of worked out time-wise great. I decided this, I think the little bit after I played Tom, was where I first started having the idea that, you know, I don't know that I'm going to be able to keep doing this, definitely not long term, and I kind of didn't want that negative mindset. I probably could have, I certainly could, I think, have kept it going for the rest of the season if I really, really pushed myself, but in the end I decided that's just really not worth it. I want to stick with it long enough so that we can find a replacement and make this transition smooth. I can at least do that. You know, the league's been very kind to me. I want to make sure that this doesn't cause any kind of a kerfluffle that's gonna, you know, throw stuff into disarray. So I want to make this exit as smooth as possible. And it just so happened that, you know, going out against John was just enough time. It was the perfect amount of time to, you know, go get a new guy, get him in, and be able to, you know, have that transition be smooth while also exiting soon enough that I felt it was, you know, good for me. So, and on top of that, you know, John is possibly my best friend left in the league right now. Obviously, Nick and Fizz leaving was definitely a blow, but you know, it was not the it's like, oh well, Nick and Fizz are gone, I guess I'm gone too. It wasn't going to be anything like that, but definitely I wanted to make this last retirement game be something special, and I felt like against John was going to be the best way. The best person I would want to go out against. I think the regular season would have ended against Geo, which I loves me some Geo, but John was in season 2, and if you haven't noticed, this season has been a massive season 2 like nostalgia thing kind of going on. We got Cloister back, we got Zapdos back. I've been using a couple of the throwback logos from season 2, so that was kind of my subtle hint for something, but I doubt anyone actually picked up on it. That was probably a little bit too subtle. But anyway, so that's why we're going out now. I wanted to go out against John, and it's just everything just kind of lines up right. There's not gonna lie, there is the new Zelda game. I kind of want to play that a good bit, and if I'm continue to be in the league, I'm not gonna be able to play that very much at all, much less any other game. So that's not the actual. Like, I'm not saying I quit in order to play, you know, some other random game, but it's just you know, an example of one of many things that, while a GBA season's going on, I kind of can't do any of that stuff, and I don't see that not being the case. When I effectively withdrew from Season 4, that was because of factors that were, I felt, temporary. I lost internet access, but I knew, like, you know, eventually I'll get that back, you know, and I'll get stuff back in order, and kind of get my life in order in some respects. And this time, it's sort of the reverse. Now my life is in order, but that order doesn't include the GBA, so yeah. Last time I was like, well, hopefully circumstances will change. This time I can't say hopefully circumstances will change because that would involve me losing my job, so I don't want that. But anyway, yeah, we're halfway to 15 minutes, and I guess we're almost halfway done. But I don't want you guys to cry too much, because one of the things that helped me make this decision and make it less painful, it's not because of this, but it helped make the decision more swallowable to me, because there's no way I'd be able to just quit Pokemon, certainly, you know, kind of as Fizz did. I still enjoy the game, I still, you know, enjoy League play, I just can't do it every single week. It's just a little bit too taxing on me. So, that's where, if you remember, our other league, which has kind of been on hiatus, mostly because of me, and mostly because of me being in the GBA and that completely choking out my ability to do anything else on YouTube. The Zirconian Battle Syndicate, the ZBS, the league that I made, which is a pre-bank league with a lot of my good buddies from the old TPXZ. The big thing about that is a bi-weekly league. So we have a video that goes up every 2 weeks. We have extra time there to breathe, to prep, etc. And that, I'm pretty confident I can do it every other week. So that's the distinction there. And obviously also it's against the, you know, all friends, so it's gonna be people I really like a lot. So I'm very excited to play all of them. I'm kind of biased, obviously, but I like the format better. I should, because, you know, I kind of had a heavy hand in making the formats, so there is that. A comparison I kind of reached was, it was sort of like the ZBS was like my newborn baby, and the GBA was like my career, and it kind of felt like, oh man, the GBA's got to come first, because, you know, we got this huge operation with the channel, you know, the videos have to be out, you know, sort of yada yada yada. And it kind of felt like I was putting my career ahead of my child in that sense. That's possibly a really bad, inappropriate analogy, but that's kind of how it felt to me. You know, here's the ZBS that I want to grow, I want to enjoy with all my friends, and the GBA is kind of there, and it's really, really taxing me. Again, I'm pretty sure if I absolutely had to, I could have finished out the season, but it just did not ultimately feel worth it to me, especially when I can still continue to bring you guys league games at least every other week. And I feel like I had kind of decided before both seasons began that I was going to put more editing and gusto, if you will, bells and whistles onto the ZBS videos, because they would be only every other week. And I felt like GBA videos are almost certainly going to be a little bit rushed right from the start. You know, there was no emote, well, we had emote strips this season, which was awesome to bring back, and it's definitely been one of the most fun things during the games for me. But, you know, we took away stat pop-ups, we took away music during the battles, things like that, and kind of stripped it down kind of to more like the Season 2 standard, which I kind of wanted to do anyway, but just the lack of time factor definitely played into that decision as well. So that's pretty much it for that. So we do have a new coach. The new coach is decided. I'm sure there'll be like an official announcement later in the week, probably, but I guess this will probably be the first place you will hear him crowned, and it is Necrostevo, who is a veteran of several leagues, actually. I guess most notably the PPL. He actually has a win over George, Septile MC. I don't, so that's nice. As for how I know him, we were not like super close friends, but we did actually go to the same university together. I have a couple of convention videos where I actually battled him in person in 4th Gen, and I think even 5th Gen as well. So he's one of the very few people I've ever battled in 5th Gen. But yeah, he's been a long-time player since, I'm sure he started in Red and Blue, and I'm sure it started in competitive at least sometime in 4th Gen, so very much like me in that regard. And also very much like me in that regard, he also plays legit. I did ask him, and he is planning on breeding and catching all his legendaries legitimate, just like I do. So with that in mind, I felt much more comfortable. There's an alarm going off. I felt much more comfortable leaving the team in his hands. So I definitely encourage you guys to go and check him out. Certainly no one can replace Cooper. Probably nobody should directly replace Cooper, because I don't know that amount of quirkiness should be duplicated in the world. But I think he's going to do a great job. He will actually be retaining the team name of Utah Jasmine, so I even felt, I feel so strongly he's going to do alright, that I'm even going to have him, well, I offered and he accepted, to keep using the Utah Jasmine name. So you guys will, if you have Utah Jasmine merchandise or whatever, it's still going to be good through the rest of the season. So there's still a chance the Utah Jasmine can win this season, it just won't be with me at the helm. To be clear, I will still, of course, be the Utah Jasmine in the ZBS, so it's got to be kind of weird. We have a team that's on 2 different channels in 2 different leagues, but they're like connected still, so I don't know. It's gonna be weird, but I'm definitely also gonna be supporting him however I can. If he needs me to do some breeding or whatnot for him, or get something from 4th Gen, you know, stuff and things. So I'll definitely be supporting him. Hopefully you guys will at least give him a look. I'm sure some of you have like secondary teams or tertiary teams, whatever, that you'll move up instead, and that's certainly understandable. But yeah, hopefully you'll give him a look. He has a nice channel he's got going on over there. So that is that, and I guess future stuff I have written down here on this receipt that I scribbled onto with a Sharpie for my notes for this video, which is not really a video. I don't think we're just going to be a slideshow. Not even a slideshow. It's probably just going to be talking over a still image. Just so in the future stuff, as I mentioned before, I will not be, in the foreseeable future, I will not be in any weekly leagues. If I was going to be in any weekly league, it would be the GBA, of course. but that's just, I don't think really a possibility anymore, a feasibility anymore. But I will continue to be in the ZBS, so you guys will get every other week, assuming we get it started up, hopefully back kind of soon, a weekly, bi-weekly, every other week. Bi-weekly and semi-weekly like mean the same thing. It's stupid. Every other week, anyway, there will be a ZBS upload, so you will still see league format, counter team, team prep, just like you did. Unfortunately, we only have one ZBS video to show for it, but that will continue going forward. So I'm definitely not leaving entirely. I'll absolutely still be on the GBA fan Discord. I am going to still remain involved with the GBA as kind of like a rules expert, maybe administrative type role. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, I'll still definitely be around the league, so I'm not just dropping off the face of the planet or anything like that. I just won't be the active coach in there anymore on a weekly basis. So there's also this year there's a couple of long-awaited LPs, including one that I'm looking at right now that I've been wanting to do for the last 5 or so years, and I finally have the means to do so. That's finally going to get done this year. I'd also like to begin streaming sometime again. We had some fun with some Final Fantasy Tactics streams, and now we're on like 0.7 upload internet, and it's kind of lulls for streams, so if I ever get some better internet, we might start some streams up again. And yeah, other than that, you guys know I don't like to make super commitments on YouTube. I like just to kind of do whatever I want to upload at the time, and I think that's when my videos are at the best, and that's kind of what we're gonna do. So that is, hey, it's actually under 20 minutes. Good job. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and kind of cut it here. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Again, we do have one more game that will be going up next Sunday against John, aka Pokemon, coach of the Pelipers. That will be our retirement game. I'm probably going to put some extra bells and spice and pizzazz and whatnot on that to make it special. Hopefully it's a good game for you guys to watch, and yeah, hopefully we can be alright and finish 3-1, or at least pass the team off at 2-2, and Necrosiva will be able to hopefully still bring some wins to the team. So one more game to go. I'll certainly be in the comments fielding any questions and concerns, and thanking you guys for all your years of support, and hopefully maybe you'll stick around and watch some ZBS games. If not, if you're only here for GBA, perfectly understand. Thanks for your support. I've said that like 3 times, so I'm not going to say it again. But anyway, I think that's it. Is that all? That's probably all. That's probably all. I have a pizza that I need to go tend to. So I'm going to see you guys next week for our GBA retirement video against John. And other than that, I'll see you guys in the future for maybe some ZBS stuff. And yeah, that's all. Later days.